Alright, so let's wrap up our talk about scope. So we went over scope in JavaScript. We went over execution context. And I mentioned that there's an object in the execution context called the lexical environment. This object is actually what the scope chain is. It's these lexical environments that are connected together, and it starts from the current execution context and it goes down the execution context stack to the global context. So that's actually what scope is. A single scope is actually the environment record inside of the lexical environment, because that's an object that holds all the data bindings. If we look here, we'll see that the environment record is an object and it has a property x, y, and c. X is 1, y is 2, c is a function. It also has a property called outer, which points back to the outer lexical environment. So if we look at our code, function A, it defines a variable z. It also has a function B, which defines variable x and y, and function c. So at the top, we can see the execution context if we're inside function B. So we can see that it has data bindings in the environment record for x and y. And it also has a binding for c, which is a function call. You can see there. But that's what it is, guys. Next time you're in an interview and someone says, hey, describe the scope chain, be careful about busting this out because they may not know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's the chain of lexical environments that exist inside of the execution context on the execution context stack, starting from the top, going down to global. That's all it is. So when you see code, draw your visual line, box the functions, because those are your execution contexts. Every execution context has a lexical environment. That lexical environment has an environment record that contains the data bindings. And it also has a property called outer, which points to the outer lexical environment. Therefore, it is the chain of these lexical environments that is the scope chain. And the scope is the actual environment record of the lexical environments of the currently executing execution context. There we go.